Okay, we're on part 2 of the video. We ran out of time, so we're going to have to try to speed things up because my memory card's not very big. I got the trigger guard is out. So the next thing you're going to want to do is the hook that hooks these action bars. We're going to want to disengage that. And you see how I rotated it slightly to the right. And now, if we hold that in the light, you can see that it's engaged in part of the frame, which will let the action bar swing down now. This will allow you to take the bolt out of the front of the gun. It'll slide right out, hang on to the bolt handle. And you can see that the bolt is a multi-piece unit. So what you're going to want to do is clean this. Mine is already clean. I use Shooter's Choice FP10 to lightly lube my gun. In the owner's manual it says to use lube sparingly on the Browning double auto, and I'm a believer in that. So I use just a small amount of Shooter's Choice FP10, lube my bolt along the rails. This is the chance for you to now. You can see that the receiver is fully open for cleaning. So if you want to take a rag, clean that out. I use cleanse oil on all of my aluminum double autos. I've had a bad experience with Hoppies and Croyle where it has damaged the finish of my aluminum receivers. I love both of those products. I love Hoppies, love Croyle, but I don't use them on the aluminum. So once you get that cleaned out, it's time to reinstall your bolt. And I've already used FP10 to lube the rails, and I like to use FP10 again to gently lube inside where the rails are going to run in the inside, and also where the pins are going to go for the trigger guard. So I've got FP10 lightly lubed in there. So let's go ahead and reassemble our bolt. It goes in the grooves of the receiver, and at the same time you reinstall the bolt handle. Will slide right in there together. You can see they go perfectly back together. At this point you'll want to rotate the stock back over, rotate the receiver back over, and you're going to have to re-engage that hook. This is where a pair of needle nose pliers comes in handy. You grab that action bar, lift that right up, and get it hooked back into that recoil assembly unit. And hopefully at this point everything works as it should. Okay, it's time to reinstall your trigger guard, and you can see that the shell lifter fits right up against the bolt release. Has a little push and it'll flex. Trigger guard will go right back in. Notice how our hand fit and nice everything is. At this point we're going to reinstall the keys. Remember, long on the left, and remember to put the slot to the inside. These can be a little tricky. Hopefully it goes well since we're on video now. As you can see, that went back in there nicely. Short one on the right, and that one went in there nicely. And what I like to do is to take my flat screwdriver, and all you need to do is just gently push. And do that to both sides. Gently push. And as you can see now, both of those are fully seated into the receiver, holding the trigger guard in place. At this point, hopefully the bolt will lock back. And it does, which shows that you have it put together correctly. And so now at this point it's just a matter of putting the wood back on the gun. Fore end goes on as such. Pin goes back in. Push. Again, use your star-shaped screwdriver unit to get that seated just in place. And we'll make sure that swings, which it does, which is great. Buttstock goes back on gently and nicely. And then we reinstall the stock bolt screw with our screwdriver. And I go snug, but not too snug, obviously. just like that. Grab our barrel, gently reinstall, and a lot of times you have to use a little forward pressure down on your barrel to get your fore end to latch. And as you can see, and then one thing I always do, check to make sure the hammer falls. If you listen, it does. So there you have it. Browning double auto. Assembled, disassembled, and cleaned. Hope you enjoyed yours as much as I enjoy mine. Thanks.